Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Saturday night. Smoke show, live, whatever you want to call it. Live stream with some MREs. Really cool, historical rations that I got over here. I got two of them to open up out of the boxes this time. Cannot wait to actually buckle down and do some videos with the things. Man, oh man, is it going to be cool. I have got some really cool stuff backlogged. I've got, like, right off the top of my head, 10 videos of things that have never seen the internet. Out of those 10 things, though, I've only got probably 3 of them that I have doubles of. So it's a one-shot deal. That's what's tough about the very, very rare items. You film them, you better get it right the first time, because you don't get to redo it. Okay, so walking taco night, or taco in a bag. We always called it taco in a bag. Probably mid 2000s. I started hearing walking taco around here where I live. Maybe it was always walking taco where you live. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, did I not? Oh no. I possibly could have labeled this freaking bleach spots on my shirt. I could have possibly labeled this live stream incorrectly. I want to hope not, and if I did, I doubt I can fix it. I'll probably have to redo it, which would suck. But the thumbnail, if you guys got to see the thumbnail, likely would have seen it before you clicked in here. That is sitting right, where did I put it? Right here, right back here. In 1959, what looks to be and should be a complete case, 1959 MCIs. I have a 1958 partial case that I paid way too much money for a couple years ago that I just put up. I didn't do anything with it. There was nothing. I didn't even want to fool with it because of, number one, how incomplete that I knew that it was when I got it. But there is no more out there. I've never even seen pictures of a 1958 case. I have seen pictures of a 1959 case before, and now I own a 1959 case. Actually, I own 2 of them. One sealed, one not sealed, and the condition that they are in, they look fake. I'm here to tell you, they look fake. They're so good that it's hard to believe, but they're real. They are real. I've only got one. The other one's sitting at the post office. Why they showed up at different days doesn't make any sense. I will get into that story later, but I'm beyond ticked off at the person that shipped these. I sent message after message after message, multiple messages. I didn't want to pester him, so I only sent like 3 or 4 messages, but they never got back to me, and I spent a lot of money. And I was requesting that they ship them properly, and I offered to send them money through PayPal to go buy some pillows and some totes to pack around. So, the pillows around them, put them in a tote, pack pillows around. I didn't know how else to do it because I contemplated flying out there to pick them up in person. After it wouldn't have made sense. Like, it would have been a $2,000 trip probably to go get them. It might have been worth it. They could have taken some serious damage, because whenever I went up to the post office and picked this one up, The guy that works up at the post office, he picks it up, flips it upside down like this so it's standing upright, and he's like bouncing it. He comes over, and I was like, whoa, dude, chill out. And it doesn't matter. At that point, look, everyone that picked that box up, it's not marked fragile, it's not marked this side up, it's not marked liquids, it's not marked nothing. And they only paid $20 for shipping. I paid them $78 for shipping. I don't care that you made money on the shipping, but put some effort in it. They literally just packed it tightly in one box. Nothing around it, nothing. Gets my blood pressure up. just talking and thinking about it. These people, but I made it very clear, like, the significance, the fact that they couldn't be replaced, the condition that they were in, all that. I did all that. I covered my bases. I said what I needed to say. If they have incurred damage, which I won't know on the sealed case, I won't know. Unless it's got a huge stain on it, which it didn't have when it left. But fingers crossed, I'm hoping that nothing that big has happened. But whoever, so I actually know who had these for decades, and I've got to dig more into that. And I want to try to find out. They just came out of an estate. I want to try to find out how they stored them, because, like I said, they look fake. They look fake. They're so good, they look fake, which is what you want. If you ever find rations that are real and in such good condition that they look fake, that's what you want. Like, that's what you want to find. It's very rare for that to happen. All right, let's see here. Real quick, let me grab a link. And I guess we'll just post a simple post with the link. The MRE case, but I've got cheese, I've got sour cream, I've got lettuce. I don't have any chopped up, I'll bet. Need to chop up a little bit of lettuce. But that's pretty much what I like. I'm going to make two. I'm going to make one with sour cream in it and lettuce in it. The other one, I'm probably just going to put a little sour cream and a little cheese up in there. You know what I mean? My mouth is watering thinking about it. I have fasted since, I think just yesterday. I ate yesterday. Last night. Actually kind of late, too. I think I ate like midnight, 1 o'clock last night. So, unfortunately, I'm not as hungry as I should be right now, or as hungry as I could be right now. It is what it is. All right, trying to save my eyeballs here, looking at these screens so often, and apparently it actually affects your health to a certain extent, and your sleeping and everything else. Which I knew about the sleeping thing. I didn't know that it affected your health the way it does. Now, link above. What's up, Mama? You going out, honey? Oh, here. Go ahead. Go. Go if you're going, honey. All right. All right. Well, there we go. Link posted and all that good stuff. I'm looking pretty fat. I've lost a good bit of weight too. Well, not a good bit. I'd say, let's see, I've lost 12, 13 pounds. Not enough. Irish. Howdy. What how do you say? What's a common greeting in Ireland? I don't know if you're actually Irish or from Ireland. Let's see. I I've hung out with some Irish people, but it's not coming to me. What do you guys say? Are you actually Irish? Top of the morning to you. Is that right? Is that Irish? That's Irish. Good day. That's more of an Australian thing, though, right? Like, good day, mate. Well, I guess you got to add the mate to the. Well, British people do it too. I guess maybe that's kind of a European thing, really, kind of. No, I don't know. It's confusing. You know what? Let me hit Dan up because Dan, this is going to be a good one tonight. All right, I hit Dan up. Okay, I'm good. Let me go through the chat real quick, and then here, before we do that, let me pull the talk out real quick. That's all I gotta do is pull the talk out of here. So, stupid tropical punch. Yuck. All right, taco. I gotta order some more MREs. I'll tell you what, I've been craving a chicken noodle ever since I ate that one the other day. What in the world? Is it gonna be the last one that I get my hands on in here? Or what? What the heck? Is it this one? Yay, there it is. Alright, well, that was kind of anticlimactic, I guess. Throw one strap on here to keep this bad boy together. Mama hair on it. Mama the cat. Oh, hey. Ah. Immediately wants to open itself up and get on there. Stupid raccoons tore my porch apart last night. Like, literally. Had to put it back together today. Alright. And then I've got this box of. These have been in my truck for a year. So hopefully they're okay. They feel okay. They still, wait. Oh yeah. Still crunchy. How many of these is in there? Is there only, I was about ready to say, if there was only 2 in there, I was going to be a little bit upset. There's 2 in there. Okay, good deal. To be honest with you, I think I'd rather have Tostitos. The round, bite-sized Tostitos, I prefer those. There ain't much to these, man. What? 1 ounce? Wow. They have really skimped these things down to virtually nothing. I'm going to get oh man, that's like 3 or 4 bites. These things are a joke. 150 calories. Doritos needs to go back to their old formula. I mean, for real. Doritos used to be really good. They're nowhere near as good now. They're all right, but they're not Not anything like what they used to be. I through research for the TV show, they were somewhat forced into a formula change because now it wasn't addictive, but basically it was addictive because the way they're forming, and as far as I know, I've never heard of anything else like this other than Doritos that were like this. So you could sit down. This was back prior to, I'd have to look and see, but I'm going to say early 2000s they made the change, or maybe even late 90s. Because I remember boycotting Doritos because they were just disgusting to me in my palate after they made the change, right? So prior to the change, Doritos formula was so good and so on point that you could start eating Doritos. And you know how like you get menu fatigue with eating the same rations over and over and over, or eating the same thing. It dulls down your palate. It dulls down. Doritos were a very unique flavor combination. The nacho cheese is the one I'm referring to. I don't know if anything else that they had was like this, but I know the nacho cheese was. That you could sit down and eat an entire bag, and the last chip would be just as flavorful to your palate as the first chip that you ate. There's nothing else out there that's like that today that I can think of. I've never heard of anything else being that way. If you don't believe me, go down the rabbit hole on the Doritos and the forced flavor change and all that. Like it, they used to have I grew up being a Doritos like super fan. I loved them. That was, I was given bologna sandwiches after school with Doritos and Pepsi. That's what I survived on from the time that I was probably about 4 years old, and at least until I was 8 or 9 years old, because my Uncle Red, he babysat me, and when I got home from school, that's what I ate. My grandma, bologna sandwich, a little bit of mayonnaise on it, or Miracle Whip. I'm not sure which one she used. I think she just used both. But yeah, I ate way too much of that stuff. So much that I can't stand the smell of bologna. My kids liked it growing up, and I didn't like feeding it to them, but they liked it. My grandma got my older son started on that for sure, just like she did me. But my son still likes bologna. So, and he ate a good bit of it, but he ate it by choice. He was never like, "Here's your bologna sandwich. This is what you got to eat after school." It was never anything like that. I don't think I ever really set my kids up like that. I think they just could eat whatever they wanted, within reason. Let them pick and choose what they wanted. I didn't do the best job giving them selection health-wise. I really didn't. Certainly made some mistakes. Love you some bologna, some hillbilly steak. Yeah. I will say there is one bologna that I would love to eat again. And I used to eat this bologna with cheese and olives, I think. Or, yeah, olives. I would eat a piece of the bologna on top of a square of cheese, and then I would put some olives with it and eat it. But it was called pickled bologna. And it looked like I guess, like a typical, like sausage, like a big brat. I don't know. It's probably about that big around or so. My memory of it is from a kid, and I haven't seen it since I was probably 10 to 12 years old, 13 years old. They used to sell it where I grew up at Leon at the bowling alley, which was like a bowling alley, grocery store, gas station. They might even had like a mechanic side over there. I think they did. They might have had a tow service. It was like your catch-all. Like they did try to take care of a lot of things. No, not like pickled loaf. Nope, nothing at all like that. Literally pickled bologna. I don't know how they did it because it was pickled all the way to the middle. Again, if you're going to pickle a thing of bologna like that, I don't know how it's going to soak and get pickled all the way to the middle. I don't understand that, especially now that I'm older and I'm trying to think about it. I haven't really thought much about it. But wouldn't that be extremely difficult to get that bologna to pickle to the middle? And this stuff, it was, and it wasn't too soft either. It had like a nice firmness to it. I liked the texture of it, and I can't stand the texture of typical bologna where it's like soft and slimy and real, like you can squish it real easy. This wasn't like that. This was more like probably more along the lines of like a firm bratwurst type texture. And some of the pickled bologna, like you would peel the outside off and it would have a rind on it, like a small rind. It was like probably about that long and it curved. So a little bigger than a standard banana, I would say. That's a great comparison. About a little larger than a standard size banana, a little bit longer and a little bit bigger around, I would say. It's making my mouth water thinking about it. I haven't thought about pickled bologna in a long time, but I would certainly eat me some pickled bologna right now if I could get my hands on that same pickled bologna. A lot of our food, though, has been so compromised at this point. Doritos is a great example. I mean, they made them change the formula, and then Doritos has also done some other ingredients changes in the last few years. Most mainstream products, when I say, like big brand names, made negative changes during COVID. Now, I see these influencers on TikTok, on YouTube, all the time. They're like, oh, well, that's just vitamin C. Yes. Okay. Let's just see what's in this one. Ingredients list on here? No, it's going to be on. Yeah, it is. Okay. Corn. Cool. Corn chips. Vegetable oil. Not the best to be the second ingredient, right? Corn, canola, soybean, and or sunflower oil. So they're giving you all these different oils that they're probably, I don't know if they're mixing them together as like a flavor base or what, to fry their chips in. Corn maltodextrin. Okay. Less than 2% of cheddar cheese, which is milk, cheese culture, salt, enzymes. And then you got salt, whey, monosodium, glutamate, buttermilk, Romano cheese, blah, blah, blah. But then you got like citric acid. Okay, right. Vitamin C, right? So what? They bring up stuff that you'll recognize as not being something bad. These influencers, and there's a couple big ones on TikTok, and they do YouTube as well, but they're bigger on TikTok than anywhere else. And it drives me crazy because they're trying to convince all these people, everyone, that there's nothing wrong with your food supply. That's just normal for all those chemicals to be in there. Well, then why is everyone having horrible digestive issues now? We never had that. When I was growing up, that wasn't a thing. Yes, as you get older, your digestive system slows down, your body slows down, and everything. And I remember my grandma and grandpa having a little bit of like, their digestive system slow down some. But that's not what this is. My kids complaining. My kids are in their early 20s. Well, one's mid 20s now, and the other one early 20s. And they're complaining about the same things I'm complaining about. Like you eat anything and you like feel like you bloat up. And I'm doing all these things to combat it. I'm taking pro and prebiotics, and I'm taking aged garlic, and I'm trying to fight this, and I steer myself clear of most of these foods most of the time now. It's not normal. Okay, they've taken over the food supply and turned it into something that we should all be up in arms over, along with other things. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. So I can't wait to get into this case. I really want to just kind of open it up and go through it. But we're going to eat first. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to try to go through this MRE a little bit quickly because I want to check this out. Let me go through the chat real quick. We got, 17 people here? Again, anybody that you can tell to come in here, like if they want to come in and check it out, I'm going to open something very cool that hasn't seen YouTube. I don't think YouTube has seen one of these. I looked, didn't see anything. Steve got his hands on a case, paid $3,700 for it back. I think it was 2023 is what he had on there on that post. Anyway, he got into a bidding battle on eBay and paid like $3,700 for what he said on his MREinfo.com post. And he had a case that he did not, like, his was sealed, but it was had some staining on it, and he didn't open it, or there's no pictures of it or anything like that. And that's the only thing that I could find that was like actually in the same realm as what I've got. So it's never seen film as far as I know. I don't think 1959 case has ever seen film, and I know for sure 1958 has never seen film, and I have that case in that room back there that is just stuffed away. So I want to, I'll probably combine them, because 1960, see, I need to do some more research on this, but, and I think I have at least a few 1960s MCIs, and they made some major changes in 1960 and started putting individual 4-packs of smokes, one little pack per ration. Whereas this 1959 case, you'll see what it is. Hopefully they're all in there, but I hope they're in there. Like, I know at least some of them are in there. I know that because I got pictures. So anyway. Okay. Let's start the Walking Taco MRE, and then we will get into the MCI case, which is going to be freaking awesome. We're just going to kind of do a look around in that because it's an open case, and I have a sealed case sitting at the post office. But yeah, let's take a look inside of it. It's already open. We may as well. Dan said he'll be here in just a second. He just texted me. Cool. All right. So yeah, but seriously, if you know anybody that would want to see this, I'm going to try to go through this MRE in like 20, 25 minutes probably. I mean, I got to boil the stuff. You know how that goes. We'll try to go through it as quickly as possible, but after that, we're going to check out this case. So let's just go ahead and get into this MRE. We're talking what? More than half your day's calories if you're just a normal folk like me, not out there sweating like crazy. Let's see. Trying to get this squared away. There we go. Now, these are the better MREs in my personal opinion as far as manufacturers go. These are Warnick's. These are 2022s. Warnick does not put date codes on any of their bags. The only way you're going to know what year it is if you've got the case, or until you open it up, which honestly kind of sucks. I don't know why they're the only ones that don't do it. Like, why do the other ones do it and they don't? I don't understand that. I guess it's not required, obviously, or they would be on here. So, one extra step that they just don't have to take. But Warnick does seem to be a higher quality usually. And I mention this usually typically whenever I get into a Warnick. Ameriqual, I'm going to call him middle of the road. Usually, I do like their extra packaging on the outside because I think that does add years, not just a little bit of time. I think it adds, depending on the storage conditions, it adds time. Okay, in really nice storage conditions, I think that extra bag could add a decade to its edibility. Like, I think it being the factor of it being edible, it could add up to 10 years in the right storage conditions. But we don't know. Like, those inner bags haven't even been around long enough for us to test that theory. And we would have to do a controlled storage condition to see, which might be worth it. I thought about actually trying to bury some MREs to see how they held up, like put them in a tote, seal it with duct tape, bury them, come back a couple years later, dig them up, see how they are. And I also would like to throw at least a case worth into a freezer, into a deep freeze. So once I do this move, that's probably going to be one of the first things I do is put some well, not one of the first things. Yeah, probably one of the first things as far as ration-wise go. I'm going to throw some rations into a freezer. And longevity's sake, we know from experience, I've had frozen MREs. Steve got his hands on, was the first one to get his hands on some frozen MREs. I talked to the same people, got the same guy years ago, and then I got a bunch of frozen MREs that came out of Colorado, I think. Sent one to Gundog, sent one to Sticky Fingers, sent one to G Schultz, sent one to Steve, probably, or two, maybe. I don't know. I'd say he probably did video that. Maybe not. Anyway, let's get into this. Kind of doing things a little different. We're not just eating the ration. We're kind of like last week. Was it last time? It wasn't last week. Week before. Because last week was Mother's Day. And we had a bunch of stuff going on last weekend. But, yeah, we mixed MREs last week. Or week before. Was last week the chicken and noodles? Man, I've been craving that chicken and noodles ever since I had it. But anyway, let's get into this taco MRE. Menu number 6, beef taco filling. And we got to talking about this last time. When this first came out, which was back in like 2013, 2012 maybe. I don't know. But we all, like, the first ones we got our hands on were like 2-3 years old. So we didn't get them till like 2015, 16. And the first beef taco did not come with tortillas. Tortillas have been around for a long time in MREs, just so you know. They've been around since, I think, the late 90s. Definitely early 2000s, for sure. I'm not sure exactly when they were introduced, but it was a long time ago. Why would you make a beef taco filling MRE and not put the tortillas in it? We were all perplexed when it came to that. It was really silly. I'm trying to watch a little bit of the chat here. Let me get a live chat. Ate a whole case of 2012s that was frozen once. Oh, no doubt. Wow, lucky you. I don't know how long ago that was, but yeah. Frozen MREs, if they're frozen when they're fresh, like my goal for what I freeze will be to get the freshest MREs that I can get, even though they're going to suck. Because we all know that in 2025 or 24, whatever, they went to that new bag style and they lightened them and they done all this stuff that they're ruining them. All right, first things first, here is going to be a heavy bag of our beef taco filling. Date code on that is going to be 2021, the 295th day of 2021. Well, that kind of sucks. Huh. Yep, that's what it is, though. 2021. These are 2022 MREs, and the date on the case, what is the date on this case? Is it early? Is February 25th. All right. Special date? No, sorry. Yeah, actually. That'd probably be about right. Because it's 2/25. February of 2025 is the inspection date. These are the 42nd day, which will be like February 11th or something like that, 10th or 11th. So yeah, barely into 2022. So that makes sense. All right, next up we got our accessory packet, which it's got a drink in it. It's got coffee in it. It doesn't have Tabasco in it, which is fine. I don't think we need Tabasco with a taco. You know what, though? Actually, wouldn't that be like the perfect MRE to put Tabasco with, or at least, you know, the pepper? Maybe there's that what is it called? Dehydrated. I think I got some up here. Hang on. Powdered hot sauce. Yeah, right here. I do. I have some. This would have been a perfect MRE for this. And this is from a 2022. Right there. 2075. But we'll use some of this if nothing else. And it's not cayenne either. It's like dehydrated, freeze-dried, vinegar-based hot sauce. Like it's really pretty good. I like it. There's our partially biodegradable MRE spoon. We have a nut and raisin mix. Not exciting at all. We've got some cheese spread. Yeah. We've got, what's this? No way. Rice? Huh. Cool. Heck yeah, we'll do a walking taco with that. Or a taco in a bag with that. Here's your hot beverage bag, which, yeah. And your flameless ration heater, of course. What's the date code on that? 1316. 316th day. And then we got our tortillas, whole grain. Whoa, I'm missing something. Dang it. And the only other thing in there is the sleeve. This is missing the dessert. There's definitely something missing. All right, let's find out what's missing. This can't be right. There's literally nothing as a dessert here. That sucks. Got shorted on the dessert. All right, let's check the menus real quick. Oh boy, the stock market was down Friday. MRE, which means I lost a lot of money. All right, let's check the menus. MREs, menus. All right, and then 2022. 6. All right, let's see here. Beef taco filling, Santa Fe style rice and beans, cheddar cheese spread, tortillas, nuts and raisin with pan coated chocolate discs, orange fortified beverage base. It's not missing anything. What? What the actual? No candy, no dessert, no nothing. Boy, this is a weird one. And you can't tell me that the nut and raisin mix is supposed to be the dessert. No. That's just not the case. Huh. Well, they continue to keep the beef taco MRE screwed up. This should have some sort of cake or even at least fruit or something, right? This, man, oh man. Like, let's look at the menu above and below. Let's see. Menu 7 is beef strips. It comes with chocolate pudding with protein. There's a dessert, chocolate pudding. Smooth peanut butter, white wheat snack bread, blackberry preserves, peppermint candy rings, fruit and veggie blend, juice smoothie, tropical blend, and then the one above it is chicken chunks. It comes with a first strike bar apple cinnamon. That's definitely a side snack dessert-ish item. Cheddar cheese spread, tortillas plain, toasted corn kernels, barbecue flavored, teriyaki meat stick, carbohydrate electrolyte beverage powder, barbecue sauce. Yeah, nothing in this. Ain't that a bummer? I'm sure I got something laying around here. We can get something. What did I have left over? This one. I had a bunch of stuff left over where we mixed those MREs. Doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. It's fine. All right. Let me go get the beef taco filling up in some hot water. And these, oh, actually, the rice, the tortillas, and the beef taco filling. Like, for real. Let me get rid of this. I'll put it over here for now. Put that inside that. I've got those First Strike rations over here too. It should have some extra stuff in it. I don't know. We'll have to look and see if I got anything. But I got to heat up all three of these. Man, if you have to do that with that flameless ration heater, you're not getting all that warm. You might get your beef taco filling somewhat warm, and your tortillas will be pretty warm, but your rice is not going to get warm enough for your beef, one or the other. It's not, there ain't no way a flameless ration heater is going to be able to heat all that up. Even the best United States military issued flameless ration heater I've ever had wouldn't make it warm enough that you would like it. So let me go throw this in some hot water. Be right back. Well, my water had boiled off. I only had like maybe an inch of water, maybe, left. So I'm going to have to open this stuff up, fix the drinks, and then go throw that in some boiling water, I guess. So let's take a look at the nutritional facts real quick. What we got here? Santa Fe style rice, brown rice. No beans? It's on the MRE info menu it said and beans. Oh, it says it right here too. Okay. 180 calories. We got 650 milligrams of sodium in that rice. That's bananas. Way too much sodium for rice. Let me add my sodium later so I can taste it instead of it being baked in like that. The beef taco filling, 270 calories. So between the two, what do we got here? 450? Yeah, 450 calories. That's pretty hefty. And that's not including the tortillas. All right. And again, so sodium level, 790 milligrams, 34% of your daily value. We got protein-wise here. 22 grams of protein on the meat, 6 on the Santa Fe rice and beans, 17 grams of carbohydrates, and 24 grams on the rice. Pretty high. Not much trans fat here. Half a gram. Total 12 grams over here. And 8. You want more healthy fat than that. That's what do we got here? Saturated fat, 4 grams, 20% of your daily value. Total fat, 27 grams. It's not good fat, though, most of it. All right, let's see what's in this accessory pack. This is a pretty good one, I must say. All right, we'll start off the cinnamon-style Chiclets gum. We have the beverage base orange type 3 variety. It's going to be your sugar-free, what's it, xylitol. What's in this? Let me see here. Ingredients are over here. Citric acid is the #1 ingredient. Let me flatten this out. kind of read it a little bit better there. Maybe. Jeez. What the heck, camera? Why is it doing that? There we go. Tricalcium phosphate, sodium citrate, natural and artificial flavors, yay. Aspartame, nice. Dextrin, yay, soluble fiber. But yeah, aspartame, of course. Nothing but the best for our troops, you know. God forbid they use actual sugar in the drinks. There's your little teeny tiny pack of iodized salt there. Not much to it anymore. The salt used to contain 4.5 grams, or 4 grams. And look at that. This doesn't contain half a gram, probably. If that. Yeah, I'd say if that. Maybe even a quarter. It's just a teeny tiny little bit of salt. Anyway. I don't like that they done that either, which I'm not a big salt user, so here's our non-dairy creamer, the Gianna's Brothers. I want to make a product that makes it into MREs with a contract. I want to get a contract putting something into an MRE, whether it be salt or coffee or whatever. We got our Bill's Brew freeze-dried coffee. Had some bad luck with that as of recently here. And then they include a 0-calorie sweetener, of course. And this one is sucralose. Yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. Moist towelette. Latex free, of course. Got some sugar. A little teeny tiny pack of that as well. And last but definitely not least is your United States issued butt ration. Or napkin, paper towel, whatever you want to use it for. Alright. Well, there that is. I wonder if my water's getting up to boil yet. Probably not, but might be worth going to check. Let me go check real quick. It's not boiling yet. I want it to get boiling before I throw my food in it. Because then I won't know how long to keep it in there if the water's not actually boiling. Okay. Tray. Let me get rid of the stuff I don't need here. Okay. Bag here. Maybe one of these days I'll need these extras. I hope not. Hope to never need them or want them. That'd be a bad day whenever I want or need that stuff. There's cold drink. There's our hot drink. Cheese spread. (361st day. I saw that date on something else too. Four days before the end of the year. So in here we've got peanuts, chocolate coated discs, Walnuts, filberts, almonds, and that's it. You got BHA and BHT for preservatives, whatever that is. You got soy lectin as an emulsifier, salt, vanilla, sugar, less than 1% of all these. You got your colony, you got red 40 lake, yellow 6 lake, yellow 6, yellow 5 lake, blue 2 lake, blue 1 lake, gum acai, I don't know how to pronounce that, corn syrup, carnauba wax, yummy, raisins coated with sunflower oil, walnuts, filberts, almonds, alcohol, and then the contents of the chocolate discs. You got your cocoa, sugar, cocoa butter, chocolate liqueur, whole milk, powder, soy, lectin, and then, yep, that's it. So, give me some, what are these, walnuts? Did I say that's what these were? They're walnuts, right? Yeah, walnuts. Making my mouth water. Walnuts, peanuts, some raisins. I'm going to put one chocolate disc in this bite and one filbert. And yeah, so I'm going to eat this before I do anything else, I guess, because I'm going to make this coffee here in a second. But I got to go put that stuff in there. All right. Right back. Something in that bite was really bitter. I don't know if it was the walnuts or the filbert. There's a half a filbert, which is a hazelnut, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of bitter. Almost thought it was raw. It was too. Half of it, like squeaky on the teeth. The other half's crunchy. I don't think that was the bitterness, though. Walnuts are amazing. Raisins are really good, too. Coffee. We're going to do some delicious coffee today. My man. If you guys have not yet subscribed to Mr. Delicious, right there is his YouTube channel. Highly encourage you going to check it out and subscribing. He's my dude. Love that guy. I hope to have a place for him to stay if he makes his trip to America. Coffee looks good. Sugar. And these creamers, they never open properly. So there's turn nuts way up there. We got to get it way down here. We can try it. Oh, not bad. Good enough. Usually, it's not always the case. Let's put it that way. All right, this I think is for a 20-ounce bottle. I always say that. And I check them, and it always is. Yep, right there. 20 ounce. And my water's boiling over because I filled it up way too much with the 3 items. Come on. Had to just cut my fingernails. There we go. Fingers are wet. Alright. Gotta put some hot water in the coffee and maybe get my stuff out. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the timestamp when I put it in there. Dang it. Wasn't smart. I don't know if I should take it out yet or not. You know what? Let me go get sour cream, cheese, and what else am I supposed to get? Sour cream, cheese, and lettuce. I got water all over the place. Yikes. Alright. Let me go grab that stuff and I'll get that stuff out of the boil as well. Hey, Amber, can you give me a little bit of lettuce? Just waiting on some lettuce. Some cream. Some cheap cheese. Alright, got the food, got the lettuce. I don't think I don't need that, do I? Maybe. You know, I was just thinking, what did I even heat up the tortillas for? I'm not making a taco. I don't plan to. Got all my stuff heated up right here. We got our taco mix and our Santa Fe style rice and beans. We will use some of that. I don't plan. Yeah, maybe. Okay, they're heated up. They're ready, just in case. If I need them, cool. If I don't, I'm cool with that too. These spoons I got open right here. Get this a stir real quick. And before my palate gets overran with everything else, I'm going to try the coffee. Whoo! Hot, hot, hot. Really good, though. I don't know what it is about a hot cup of coffee that just gives you a wholesome feeling every time. Try the orange real quick. Ooh. Very natural smelling. It smells like an orange when you peel it, really. You know how it's like that juicy, sweet orange smell? Kind of tastes that way too. A little artificial. And I get this almost like a minty. It's not minty, but it's, you know how like when you eat something minty or whatever, you get like that coolness when you draw in air. That's what I experience with the fake sweetener stuff, or well, artificial sweeteners, whatever. I call them fake. Artificial and fake are the same thing, are they not? Pretty close to the same thing. I don't know. My terminology might be off there a little bit. Huh. I guess there are some things that could be artificial but authentic. Is that possible? Alright, now I gotta figure out how to do this and attack this, because this is a first for me. So we're gonna do our bag of chips. These are gonna be our bowl. Alright. There's that one. And there's that one. Okay, both of them are going to get cheese. And I think putting the cheese in right now and then letting the meat go on top of the cheese to melt the cheese is a good idea. Let that happen, and then after that happens, after the, you know what I'm saying, like melts the cheese, I'll throw in some sour cream, mix it up, and then throw some lettuce in. And some of the Santa Fe rice and beans. Alright. Cheese. Cheese it up. I'm going to put some of that blend in there. This is triple cheese. Whatever that means. Three different kinds of cheeses, I'm sure of that. Some of that in there. That's what we're looking like. Some cheese up in there. I don't want to go too crazy with the cheese. I mean, the Doritos are already cheesy themselves. Now that one needs more than that. One more little handful of cheese here, probably. There we go. Since I've done that to that one, let me do it to this other one here too. I think that'll be enough cheese. I hope. I can always add. Maybe not. Yeah, that'll be enough. Surely that'll be enough. We'll make sure. All right, next we'll open up the meat and put the meat in. And then one we'll put some rice in, the other one we will not. Well, it definitely melted that cheese. I need a paper towel. I need a couple of them. Okay. Let me look at the chat. Anybody got any suggestions of how I'm doing this? Am I doing it wrong? I think this is going to end up being good, though. It not necessarily menthol, but like, you know how with the menthol you get that like coolness when you breathe in, like that. I don't know. That's what the fake sweeteners are. That's one of the effects I get from fake sweeteners. I mean, the flavor's actually quite good. Better than it usually is with this orange. Usually the orange is pretty bad. Pretty rough. That one's pretty good. Maybe they've improved it some. Okay. Beef taco filling. And I'm going to open it up top here instead of long ways. Okay. There we go. Oh, that smells awesome. Amber, you don't want a taco, do you? A taco in a bag? I can fix you one. Huh? Just beef and cheese? All right. Your loss. I'm going to try to just dump this in here. I think it's probably the best route to go here. It's burning my fingers. Ooh, it's burning my fingers. Ah. Holy ow. Yikes. All right, let's see if I can get this one. Oh, man, that's hot. That is real hot. I've been craving this ever since we all thought of this. All right. I only used about half of the taco mix. I mean, these little bags of chips ain't much, so I'll have enough to heat it up and do this again, I think. Yeah. I ain't got quite half left, but enough to have at least one more. Set that back there. And we will pick one to put some rice in. It's going to be this one. Oh, man. Dang it. That's a pain when it doesn't open properly. I like to see that there's rice in here because that would make making a taco or burrito a lot better. And this looks like some sort of cheesy rice. Look at that. Wow. That is not what the rice looked like last time I had it. Not at all. Oh, it smells very cheesy. Huh. It smells like nacho cheese, too. Let's put some of that in here. Yep. Yep. Get some beans in there. All right. I'm only putting it in one of them for now. All right. Packaging's kind of a mess. Okay. So I would say that cheese is pretty well melted. Get some sour cream going here. There we go. Use our spoon. I don't know if that's enough or not. Probably not. There we go. Well, I was trying not to get the taco stuff all over the spoon. Somehow I managed to anyway. Some in that one. Put a little bit more in this one. Alright. That should be good for now. Anyway. I think I contaminated that container a little bit. Alright. Spoon mix it up or fork? Let's do this one with the spoon. Let me go get a fork for this other one. Alright. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited. This is the one without the rice in it. I think this one's going to need a little more taco meat. Looks like. Because that rice really added to filler to the other one. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe. Actually. Let's see. We'll add a little bit more to that one. A little bit more taco meat. There we go. Let the steam come off of that. Good and hot. It's the only way to do this, I'd say. Alright. Some lettuce. That looks bad. Okay. Some lettuce here. Same thing over here. Alright. Alright, let's give the one without the rice and beans a try first. I got it all over my hands. Where's my napkin at? Is this it? Is it over here? There we go. Yum, 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 yum. Alright. Taco in a bag. MRE. So what you need, if you had cheese and, oh, you don't even need cheese because we got cheese spread. So if you just had some sour cream and little bags of Doritos, you could do this. You know, any soldier pull this off. You know, the lettuce is a luxury for sure, and the shredded cheese because it's got to be refrigerated. But all right, a little bit of everything here. Mm. That is awesome. That is exactly what I envisioned. Sour cream adds a nice balance to it. The lettuce is a little my fault. Lettuce is like a week old, so it's not the freshest. Mm. The Doritos and the beef taco filling is amazing together. It tastes like a nice dip, kind of. That's really good. Let's see how the rice affects it. Some sort of hot sauce, you think? We'll see. The flavors are so good. It doesn't need hot sauce. Really doesn't. But could add to it. And I have the perfect thing. A little powdered hot sauce. Which is amazing stuff. I would like to get my hands on or figure out who or whatever that's making that and market that to the public because that's good stuff. All right, let's see if the rice ruins it or makes it better. Let's see the beans on our there, a big old bean on top, black bean. Looks like a black bean. Doritos looking nice and good in there, cheesy. Lettuce. Hopefully, I got some taco meat in there. Here we go. Hmm. Hmm. They couldn't be much more different. They are very, very different. That rice is dominating this dish. Unless maybe I just got mainly the rice instead of some meat. Let's see. Let's give it another try. I wouldn't say it ruined it. It's definitely edible, but the other one tastes way better without the rice. The rice is very flavorful. That cheese that it's got in it is quite overpowering, and it definitely has like a chemical based type flavor. Mm-mm. Pretty good though. This tastes more like one of those 5-layer dips with some lettuce. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's all good. Mm. I do like the other one better, though. Let's try a little bit of hot sauce on it. I don't know who said it needed hot sauce, but cheers. It's cooling down quick. Better without it. The hot sauce is it's a mild heat. There's a little bit of heat. Mild on the vinegar. It's a pretty mild powdered hot sauce, like pretty acceptable to most palates. So it's not like dumping Tabasco on it. But I mean, the hot sauce didn't hurt it. I do like the added heat that it provided. Is there anything better? Yeah. Right here. I think this is better than the crushed red pepper, which is cayenne. Or that's what it used to be. And I used to love it. I still like it. But the powdered hot sauce, it is better. Yeah, Phoenix, if you haven't had this, it's pretty rare to find, or it has been for me. I think this is the only one I've had. Maybe I've had another one that I put up. Maybe. But, yeah. Case de Fritos. Casa de Fritos. This one, I don't know. The sour cream, the cheese, the taco mix. Oh, the origin story of Doritos. Doritos just started off as a regular chip, unflavored. I don't know if I've had the picante powder yet, Kaylin. I don't even know if I've seen it. That might be like I haven't had anything above 24. I ain't had none of the new bags yet. But this, how have I not done this before? That's just silly. Because you talk about quick and easy. Heat up your meat. Boom. Ready to go. It is, I mean, it's still warm, but it's cooling down quicker than I'd like. Well, thank you, Phoenix, for just hanging out, man. Like, I just do this because I enjoy it. It's cool to be able to provide a little bit of knowledge here and there. But I got to learn it somewhere, too. I guess maybe I've created a little bit of food history, huh? Maybe. A little bit. The rice and bean one. This one's kind of sloppy. I need to eat it because the chips are going soggy, but definitely. Thank you, Phoenix. I'll tell you what. You got to go way back in the books anymore for it to be reliable. I think most books now are manipulated. Push a narrative. Or, I mean, when you really start digging into it, it gets crazy. You got to go like pre-1880, maybe 1890 in some things, but to get into things that are somewhat reliable as far as writings go. Because everything after that, the Rockefeller family has their hands all over every bit of it. I've been called a conspiracy theorist for years. I'm okay with it. That just means that I'm most likely right. Now there's something you can rely on. Cookbooks. If you go through eras of cookbooks, looking at what was most popular, etc., you can see what the state of the country was in based on the food. A lot of Depression era food out there and cookbooks trying to save money. Wasn't about time or effort, it was about saving money. We did that onion. What was it, an onion? Yeah, we hollowed out an onion, took peanut butter, took the onions that we cut out, baked them together, kept the top, baked it, breadcrumbs, like legit old bread that had sat around, turned into croutons, crushed up, mixed in with it, and baked it all together. And then, put it in the onion and baked it. And I thought I was going to really dislike that because I'm not a huge fan of eating onions like that. I like raw onions mainly. Cooked onions aren't really my thing. But that Depression era meal that we cooked was fantastic. And I have eaten it since. I think only once, though. But it's on the show. All the moose nose jelly. I'll never forget that. That took like 2 or 3 days of processing and then cooking. First day, cooler shows up, busted. All the ice had melted off of it. Not good. That was a humanely acquired moose, by the way. It had been hit by a big truck. At least that's what they told us. All right, the rice one. The more I eat of it, the more I don't like it. I want another bite of the good one. But yeah, Josh didn't really know how to use a knife. He is from California, after all. Born and raised in Pittsburgh, though. So it's not like he's full-on Californian. There's some rugged Californians, don't get me wrong. But we all know what I mean. Anyway, it was really... You needed an extremely razor-sharp edge. And then you also had to be very precise with where you were digging into to cut with. And to get the nose off and cheek. Did nose, cheek, and anything really. Face. But there's more meat in the cheeks and more of a, I guess, cartilage-like Anyway, so I started breaking it down and getting it all off of there. I wish I had all that footage that they couldn't/didn't use. That Ken guy, whose house we were at, was a very interesting fella. He'd written, I think, 20-some books, and the majority of them were about jelly and making jelly and stuff. And you had what, moose smoked before? Wild elk. Wanted to try elk, never got to yet. Yeah, I would have never been able to try it outside of that. I mean, they shipped the whole head down here. Like, it was on the show, but it was the whole head, you know, like a big neck part too. Anyway, after we got it all broke down and taken off there, Ken had an outdoor kitchen, and he put it in a big stock pot, and he would just let it cook almost all the way down, and then he would put more water in it, and he'd let it cook almost all the way down. He'd put more water in it, and he'd let it cook. I think he did that for 2 full days while we weren't there. And then also, it might have been the next evening, but they wouldn't tell me what we were doing. They tried to pull that with the moose too, which, I mean, it was a surprise. Like, I didn't know anything about what we were doing, and I don't remember how that played out on the show. But they didn't want to tell me what we were doing next, and it was like this big secret. And they brought this thing out, and they wanted me to figure out what it was. I was like, what is that? After looking at it, I mean, look, I worked on the river. Like, I'm familiar with river animals, and I was like, that's a beaver. I didn't know the beaver tails were so interesting, though. So there's 0 muscle in a beaver's tail. I think there's 0 bone too. It's very odd. It's a very strange appendage, I guess you would call it, on beavers. They are quite interesting, I must say. And the way that we started off with that thing, we were told by Ken that if we put it on the grill, it would expand and like blow up like a balloon. And it did that. But we did something wrong. Like, something went wrong there, because we were supposed to be able to peel the outside, what looks leathery like skin, and then it isn't like that once it starts breaking down. And we started trying to peel it off there, and it just was not working. And anyway, the beaver tail thing ended up being, that might not even make TV, because it was such a debacle. I have no idea if that even made TV. It may not have. I never watched it, so it's awful. One of these days I'll sit down with my kids, and hopefully grandkids one of these days, and watch it. I'd love to get another TV show going. I think the country is in a great spot right now for a show like that. We can make some changes. I think I see places where changes can be made to improve. Just using what inventory that I've stacked up and stocked up, I've got enough for at least half a season when it comes to military ration type stuff, and I got a few civilian items, but my main focus is just the military stuff. And that kind of segues me into, let's get the table cleared off here. There's nothing else. I got cheese spread. I'm gonna cheese spreads. For what? Cheese spread can go over here. I would like to have something sweet, though. I would like to have some sort of dessert, because what do I got here? You know what? By the way, I'd like to have something to go good with that coffee. Let's check our beef sticks here. This is going to be the cheap one. Nope. This is the good one. This is the Grayson Natural Farm. Still nothing Still nothing. No mold. I wonder why that old one or that other one molded and got so nasty so quick. I mean, we're talking what? We're a couple months into this now, at least. Let's see if this one's done anything. Of course not. This one, I don't see it ever going. I don't see this one ever molding or anything. I mean, it's just going to dry out is all it's going to do. I'm going to leave them exposed like this, pushed up out, and stick them back in here so they really get maximum contamination and air exposure. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in another week or whatever. Likely a week till I come back. That's the goal. I got a lot going on this week and the next week. I got half a blueberry turnover sitting here. I got about half a cinnamon bun sitting here. Yeah, I guess. Let's blueberry it up. You know what? I'm just going to cut a piece off here. Let me just do that. Because I don't really want a whole lot. Just want something sweet. I mean, the nut and raisin mix ain't going to cut it. Ain't going to cut it. Smells really good. You don't like the patriotic MRE cookies? Are you okay? The patriotic MRE cookies are the bomb. Some of the best buttery sugar cookies, I think, or maybe they're shortbread. They taste like shortbread. Yeah, the patriotic sugar cookies are awesome. I always find myself like wanting more, and there's never enough in the package. And I try to split it into 2 servings typically. Like I'll eat half of them and I'll be like, I want to save something for later. They're so good though. Like the way they dissolve and how buttery and they're good. They're really good. The blueberry turnover, I mean, it's all right. I've had better, for sure. It smells real good though. Real good. Real good. Mmm. Huh. I think it's pouring down the rain outside. And my motorcycle's out there under a tree. I got the cover on it, but I've never been a motorcycle guy. I mean, I have like dirt bikes, but not street bikes, I guess what you'd call them. What do you call them? Motorcycle? Never had one. I mean, I did have one, but I never rode it. I got it off my buddy and never rode it. Got a crotch rocket way back in the day. Got it off my buddy who is, oh man, no longer with us. Can't believe that. All over my. Dang it. Alright, let me get rid of this tray. Oh, I'll be right back. Right back. Alright. And a little bit more trash up here. Piece of lettuce. Get rid of that right there. A little tiny piece of lettuce. I just cleaned this off and flipped this. Put a new board down. Oh, excuse me. Whew. Yep. I want to smoke. What do I want? One in there. I'm saving that to send to somebody. What in the world? Huh. Anyway, one of those in there. Got. No, I got some old smokes around here somewhere. You know what? I got old Camels over here. Old Camels. I had one last week, but what do I got in here? Got 4 cigarettes left in here. Gotta be selective about those. I thought I had another can of these somewhere. I think I do have another can just like this somewhere. I don't know what happened to it. It's really weird. I have another can that I opened. It's back there. It's got at least one in it. I always keep that. I've got another can. It says Paris on it. I don't even know what brand they are. I thought they were Camels when I got it. These are very hard to find now. Very hard, especially because eBay just is a nightmare nowadays. Huh. Alright, let's do this. How many of these do I got left? Alright. So I got 4 of these left as well. Now I got 3. It's definitely storming outside. I was hoping I was going to be able to take you guys outside. Show you some UFOs. Because, you know, they're always out there. They were pretty active last night until it clouded over. Alright. Let's get this on the table. I'm going to get that opened up in just a second. That magical item. I spent a lot of money on that. Amber agreed that it was, told me that I should do it. Kind of my early birthday, Father's Day, any other holiday that's coming up in the next year. This is it right here. This is my big purchase. It's big purchase. $37. Really? Is this a 37-year-old cigarette? I got them good Canadians over here too. What's the expiration date? Oh no, these are probably 96s. So these are 30 years old. 30-year-old smokes. You can't do anything like that on TikTok. They'll ban you with a good boop immediately. They like you glance that across the screen. Banned. Freaking TikTok's so stupid. Oh yeah, yeah. So I agree. Cannabis is got a wide variety of things that it can treat successfully. I've seen a lot. I've seen rendered down capsule forms given to people with Parkinson's that were like this. And one guy, he was sitting on the couch, older fella. He was probably mid to late 60s, I would say. And his son was filming. I didn't see the son, but I saw the dad. And he was struggling. And he told his dad to try, just try this and we'll see what happens. Or it might have been a tincture that went under his tongue. I think it was a pill, though. I can't remember. It's a pretty viral video, but the fellow he was struggling, man. You could tell. I mean, I can only imagine. I would never wish that upon anyone, and knock on wood. But he was struggling with it, and I'll bet his muscles are tight all the time, and it's probably sore. I mean, you might get used to it, kind of, but at the same time, it wouldn't be pleasant. And within minutes, he's like this, and he's like, his son's like, well, how you feeling? He's like, what do you think, Dad? He's like, what do we got to eat? Or he's like, I'm hungry, or something. I was like, yep, yep, got the munchies. Thing is now this is the way I always thought, and it seemed to be true. Is once you start eating, it kind of cancels it out pretty quickly. The food, your body kind of switches over to processing food instead of focusing on the THC and everything. And yeah, it's still there, but I think that it does reduce its effectiveness dramatically. So I think steering away from any food, especially in a treatment situation like that, would be your best bet for it to work longer. But it was his first time ever doing it, and I'm sure I could find the video. It's not very hard to find. I would think. Now I could be wrong, but it did go viral there for a while. But I haven't seen it in probably a couple years. I would say maybe a year since I've seen it, a year or two. It was a good one though. That's got a really strong, almost. It's like a really rugged vintage flavor, like it's been stored in a Foot Locker or something. That's what it smells that way and tastes that way. Well, so with Tourette's, I've heard that you're also always tensed up because you're like holding back. You're trying to, most of the time, from what I understand, trying to hold back saying and actions. So you're trying to hold your actions back, whether it be a muscular tick or a verbal tick. I mean, of course, it can be funny. I started watching that Balin girl years before she got famous and got it, because she's from West Virginia. So she came up on my For You page probably, I don't know, when I first downloaded TikTok, which was probably about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I don't know if I had TikTok all through COVID or not. I definitely didn't. I didn't have TikTok when I done the TV show. I might have had it downloaded, but I didn't like ever use it, watch it, anything. Back then, I think it was still just kids dancing, I think. But when I started using it was probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Probably 4-ish, 3.5, 4. And I remember her being, which I've lost 3 or 4 accounts since then. TikTok loves to ban my accounts for nothing. I can promise you I've never violated any guidelines ever. I'm just not the type of guy to violate their guidelines. But it doesn't matter. It does not matter. When it was more liberally ran by liberals, I got banned a lot. I lost 3 or 4 accounts for nothing, for absolutely nothing. There's some lightning. Probably gonna hear some thunder. There it is. I mean, there are quite a few. Well, not quite a few, but definitely the flower treatment does help, from what I understand, with the Tourette's. I think that's just one of those things that they act like they haven't figured out yet. And to be quite frank, I think they've figured out most things, but they choose to not let us in on the secrets. Cancer being the main one, because it's the main killer. And they've got the cure. They've had the cure. Russia announced probably about a year ago now. And I saw this on a weird international piece of media. And I rarely check international media. I don't even know why I did this day. But I saw a piece of Russian news that said that they had released the cure. It was out there. Price $30,000 roughly. And it takes care of it. There are other things that they're like that. You can look this. I watched a documentary. I watched multiple documentaries about this man. I cannot remember his name, but he's a doctor down in Texas, and he has been very, very successful. I think his numbers were between 85 and 95%. It may have been up to 95. It was way up there. His success rate on cure, like once it's gone, or not, non-return rate or whatever. His medication that his proprietary medication that he came up with is completely non-invasive, non-harmful. Period. Anybody can take it without any side effects. The government refused to give him the patent on it. He filed for the patent for his medications, and I'm paraphrasing here. Like, just take this as like my interpretation of this documentary, everything that I saw. Anyways, he filed for the patents multiple times, trying to get them. He fought them in court. He spent, I think the last figure was in the millions he'd spent on legal fees, fighting them in all the way up to the Supreme Court. They deny him the patent for his drugs, right? The all-natural proprietary drug he came up with. Guess who filed for the patent and got it? You'll never guess, but you will. The government, the FDA, filed for the patent for his drugs. It's like just teeny tiny, slightly tweaked, like 1 milligram or something difference or something. It's just something stupid. I can't remember exactly what it was. And now they hold the patent for it. Bananas. Criminal. What are we doing? And all the families that he had helped go to court for him, he's still practicing, as far as I know, today with a high success rate. I know one of his big things was brain cancer. I'd have to look it up and find the documentaries, but I highly recommend any of you guys watching right now to do that yourself. Also, look into this, because it's a very eye-opening documentary to watch. There's a couple of them, but the one that's got a lot of information in it. It's a little over 2 hours long, if I remember correctly. So when I get my building done up here, and my next project is the restaurant, I hope and plan to have that done within the next year. That is my goal that I've set for myself, and I want to do that. 100% UFOs are 100% real. 100% real, no doubt about it. 100%. I've been watching them myself for years, filming them myself for years. What I can't confirm is what's in them. They've never come to visit me. Some people have encounters that and I don't discount those people that have had them encounters. A lot of people do. I don't think most of those people would put their reputation on the line and lie about something like that. I don't think that most people would do that. I think the reason that they tell their story is because they had something crazy happen to them and they think people should know about it. So, and then, other confirmed conspiracy theories, stuff like pretty much anything Alex Jones covered for the entirety of his career almost. Like, the dude has been right. And I've been watching him for probably at least 15 years. So probably since about 2000. Yeah, maybe got coming up on 20. I've been watching the guy. Watched him before I had a smartphone. Knew about Alex Jones before I had a smartphone. They just shut down InfoWars. That, again, criminal. Yes, absolutely putting the chemicals in the water and turning the frogs gay. That happened. That's been happening. Look around. That's real. That's real. Except they're doing it to humans. It definitely worked on the frogs, so they just started doing it to humans. Ticks. There's another one that was confirmed just about 10 or 11 months ago now. They had the FOIA Act released paperwork of spreading Lyme disease. Our government, thank them for that. They released 300, I think it was roughly around 300,000 ticks infected with Lyme disease and irradiated so that they could track them. Okay, you slide the Geiger counter over top of the tick and it clicks, and okay, this is one of our ticks that's infected with Lyme disease. It's got, and according to them and the paperwork, they didn't think about the birds picking up the ticks and taking them all over the freaking, I guess, really North America and the stuff. Now it's just common. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And now you've got this alpha-gal, which Amber's dad has, alpha-gal. And the only treatment / cure for alpha-gal that I know of is, weirdly enough, acupuncture. You get needles stuck into your ear and you leave them there for apparently about a month. And when they remove them, you're supposed to be good. And if it doesn't work the first time, they do it again. And it's got like an 80 or 90% success rate, something like that is what I heard. So that's not normal. That's not natural. Something else I haven't talked about for a while that I need to stress more often. My voice is very small. I need to focus on reaching more people. This message is important. And I think you're all going to recognize when I start talking about this, it's you can see it. So, you know what I haven't seen one of this year? Not one. Can anybody guess what I have not seen one of them? The weather is broke, it's warmer here, has been. What typically comes out when it starts getting warm? The Germans were brought over here. Operation Paperclip took over. They were brought over here and straight continued doing what they were doing over there. We, the United States government, picked up exactly where they left off. They captured them, whatever you want to call it. They came over here and lived a high life. Brought them over here and just kept human testing, you name it. And that happened. So I haven't seen not one lightning bug yet this year. Not one. Not even one. Haven't seen one. So I started talking about this about 4 years ago. Just think about the insect population as being Mother Nature's microbiome, okay? Because without it, you die. Without your microbiome, you cannot survive. You cannot process food. Your body starts building up toxins. It doesn't work, okay? And I know this because I've experienced it myself. Twice in the hospital with pancreatitis, completely wrecked with antibiotics and 19 other drugs that they had me on. Bees are virtually gone. I've seen very few bees. Is that a sign or what? Is that a sign? Come here, let me catch this beetle. Take him outside. Come here. Come here. There you go. Little beetle here. Don't fly off, buddy. Don't fly off. Hang on, I'm gonna take you outside. Go outside and fly away. Well, that was weird. Anyway, it's not funny. It's not funny. It's sad. Not seen any slugs yet this year. Usually, I feed slugs every year because I like to see how big I can get them. I've had some slugs that were, I'm not kidding you, that long, about that big around. I've fed some monsters. I've created some monster slugs. I got some crazy videos of them. I guess breeding. Very weird. They like twist together and they hang from. I can show you the videos. I think it's on this phone actually. Maybe on this phone over here, so I could actually show it to you. Anyways, slugs, bees, virtually gone. Seen a few, very few. Butterflies. Our fault. They can only survive on milkweed, I believe, or milk thistle, or something like that. And we've just eradicated it everywhere. But something else is going on. The chemtrails, those are real. That's confirmed. That's confirmed, 100%. They've been controlling the weather. You look at what's been going on over in the Middle East, and as soon as they started taking out their facilities over there, they started getting all kinds of rain, started flooding. That's interesting, isn't it? Huh. Anyways, the insect population, the small critter, it's disappearing fast. This has all happened in the past 4 to 5 years. They're dropping soft metals, heavy metals, and God only knows what else. Likely smart dust as well. That's definitely a thing. Where do we go from here? If we don't come together as a country and as humans that want to survive, just like Bill Gates said, he's going to successfully reduce the population with vaccines and food. And he said this. Just listen to what they say. That's all you got to do. You don't have to believe me. They're the ones doing it. Listen to them. They'll tell you. The WHO, the World Economic Forum, the WEF, like these people, they don't like us. They're not like us. Period. They're different. And they really are. Like, they really are not like us. It's not good. We've got to do something. What does that look like? I've thought a lot about this. And there's no way that it's going to be pretty. For an actual change to happen, look up what Ari Shafir, he's a comedian of all things, of all people. Usually comedians are pretty on the ball, though, actually, when it comes to world events and things of that nature. Not always, but 50-50, let's say. But his theory on it is the way I feel about it. And I can't say it. I can't say it here. But drastic measures will have to be taken for an actual change to happen. And that does not look good for anyone. Not us, not them. When I say them, I'm referring to the deep state and all those people that are installing data centers that we're paying for. Okay? For a surveillance state that's already happened. It's already everywhere. Flock cameras, smart price tags with cameras in them that look, they recognize your likeness because you're all over the place, and you're like me. I'm online, and my likeness very quickly recognized. They know how much money you got in the bank. They know what your tendencies are. They know what your medical files are. They know what you'd be willing to pay for that particular product. And they will put that price right there to where you're like, yeah, I'll buy it. We can't do this. This is no longer a free market. It's no longer. This is madness that we're living in, and everything's been commercialized, and we're falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. I'm not, but I'm sure I have bad tendencies, and I've surely fell for things and done things throughout my time here on Earth, that helped get us to where we're at. You know, we're all guilty. We're all guilty of it. The thing is, at some point, we've got to collectively agree to put a stop to it. Because if we don't, we all can fathom exactly what is coming, and it's coming fast. Their 2030 agenda will be complete if we do not come together. If we don't come together as a human species, Americans and other people all over the world, and say, no, we've had enough of this. We want our lives back. We want to be able to afford homes again. We don't want to be poisoned on a daily basis by our air, by our water. We don't want data centers robbing us blind. Look, where I live, my energy bills are already higher than anywhere else in the country. West Virginia, of all places, where the coal comes from, where the power plants all over the place. It makes no sense. We deserve better. We are better. They don't deserve all the fortune and good fortune that they've had. We got to do something. We've got to do something. There's got to be a fire lit underneath our rear ends, and a sense of urgency has to take place. It has to. Let's get into a little bit of my consumerism and check out my very vintage case over here. And hopefully it hasn't taken too much postal service damage. Let's take a look. Let's see if yeah, these people that they really screwed me on this. Screwed the pooch. $80 shipping, and they didn't pay $20. And this is how they packaged it, which is a freaking joke. Seriously, I'm upset with this. I'm upset with it. Oh. Well, awesome. Okay, now I have to deal with that. Oh, man, dang it. It's a lot of freaking spoons. A lot. That's Polish. Canadian. Ooh. Old Canadian again. Not sure. Czech, maybe. Canadian Sport. MCI or early MRE. Oh boy. I made a mess. For sure. Where is my Australian spoon? I just took a handful of these out of here like a couple weeks ago too. Bunch of vintage MCI or something. Early MRE. Here's a weird, look at that. That is a weird MRE spoon. I'll show you why. There's an open one. Here. Look at the difference. That is the weirdest MRE spoon I've ever found. It's a cool one. Definitely a cool one. Oh, easy there. Cup. It's about the same color as a Australian. Almost. And there's a regular. Pretty wild the difference, huh? Cool spoon for sure. I got a bunch of these old MRE ones, or old MCI ones. Alright, that's all I'm putting up for now. The rest of these can probably go. I'll stick them in a box somewhere or something. I got way too many spoons, y'all. Spoons and sporks and yep. These ones need to stay because they're unique. Alright, well just the two are. Alright, finished my coffee. Let's get into this and see how bad it is. Hopefully it's not bad. Hopefully. 1959. The box wasn't big enough, so they put a little flap over the middle of it. Seriously? What a joke, man. What a joke. Oh, man. And it's, golly. They didn't even put it in the box where it would sit right side up. It's been laying on its side like that most of the time. Freaking buffoons. If you ever see this live stream, you're a buffoon. Look at that. Look at that damage. Oh, man. Alright, let me see if I can get this out of here. I want to check what the weight of it is after I get it out of here. Alright. Let me go get my scale. Be right back. It's definitely taking some damage up there on that corner. It wasn't there before. Alright. I will weigh myself. And then I will weigh myself. Actually, it might just settle on there. Hang on. Kind of hate to do it on this carpet. I don't know if it'll be accurate. I'll try it. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's got some weight to it. That's just good. It's right about 18.5 to 19 pounds. And it's supposed to be, what's it supposed to be? It's supposed to be 23 pounds. So it's lacking about 4 pounds at least. But man, oh man, does that suck. Alright, well, I wish I had some digital scales so I could get a proper readout. And I probably should do it on a hard surface too. I don't know. Let me turn it there. I got an idea. Turn this box over. Is that a hard surface? Stupid box. Even dumber people. Alright. I don't think this is going to work. Gonna have to take it to the kitchen, to the hardwood to see. I would like to see it weigh 20 pounds, only be lacking 4 pounds. Let me see. Alright, let me just stand up myself. It's lacking. Alright. Yeah, there ain't no way that's right. I just weighed myself right. Alright. Hang on. Bear with me. Bear with me. Alright. It's safe to say it weighs 20 pounds. Almost. At 19 to 20. There we go. Now we got to get this little bit of saran wrap. This is all they've done. This is it. Put a little bit of saran wrap around it and threw it into a tight fitting box. I definitely saddened by this. I'm not unwrapping that. I'm cutting it. I'm just going to cut it. All right. So this thing's lacking him anywhere in between 4.5 to 5.5 pounds, which as far as shrinkage goes over this amount of time is quite good. This is I mean, outside of finding some that have been in a underground, very cold bunker, you're not going to find anything better than this. Oh, cool. They stuck tape directly to the case. That's awesome of them. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Idiots. Oh, I swear to... I can't believe this. Oh, my God. Wow. All they had to do was listen to me. I offered to pay for it and everything. I already paid for it, actually, but I was even offering to give them more money to not do this like this. All right. No smells are hitting me. Huh. Okay. Well, that's a good sign. It's crunchy. Pushing on that right there, it's definitely crunchy. A lot has came out of this case in this transit. I'm positive of it. Taking this sleeve off is going to unleash a mess. I mean, I don't even have a doubt in my mind. But let's do it. Sleeve coming off. Go. Real quick. On this end, you got your stock number. You got your cubic feet, which is 0.85. Which for the time, these are MREs. This is the beginning of individual meals. £23 right there. 12 meals, so a little less than two pounds per meal is what they would have been. Now, that says 23 pounds. I wonder if that means with this box, because if that means with the boxes, all the boxes, that means that they were considerably less than 2 pounds of food per. They would have been about 1.5 pounds likely, because there's at least a couple pounds of cardboard there, if not more. Yeah, that's pretty. That's a sturdy, obviously sturdy cardboard. Man, I hate to see that. I might be able to glue that back. I have to get some soft glue though, because use hard glue and it changes colors and it gets really stiff and it's not good. All right, here we go. All right. Booth Fruit Company contract number DA 11027, quartermaster MSS 77960, date August 1959. What is this? I don't know what that is. It says EVL 181046. Complies with specs PPP-B-636. Longview Fiber Company. But look, I've opened up cases 20 years newer than this. You know, what, 59, 69, 79? Yeah, 80 even. And they were nowhere near as clean as this, but this has got some rust coming out of it because, again, it got absolutely just rough handled and not kept upright. What's that say? Certificate of box maker, Longview, Washington. Huh. Longview, Washington. All right. Let's get into this thing. Oh, yeah. Look at that old glue. That had separated a long time ago. Huh. Pretty much the same information as the outside, except on here it says cubic 1.7, gross weight 36. Huh. That's weird. Oh, I'd like to be able to see what it says underneath there. I don't know. Maybe if I took my time and some Q-tips and some acetone or something, maybe I could uncover what that says. I don't know what that says. I would like to know what the top says, though. For sure. All right. Let's look at that rust. Yep. This case does appear to be complete. And those, yeah, they look pretty good. I'm not sure if that's some new leakage over those. So this box didn't have any stains to it whatsoever. Look how shallow that MCI box is. Just wee little tiny. It's not even as wide as a standard. Oh, here I got one right here. Look here. Look at the difference. Wow. All right, lengthwise too. Check this out. That. And here is. I don't know what year this one I got is right here. I could find out though. But the height difference is wild. That's because they included an accessory packet inside of there. I don't know. Like, there's not really a whole lot out there information-wise about these. So we will be doing that as we speak. And I think this... Let's take a look. Yep. Accessory packet. With open, but with the sealed pack of Marlboros in it. Huh. What year is this thing? 1971. So next to the last year, supposedly, with smokes. I'll tell you guys something. I have not been able to confirm that with any 19. I cannot find any videos or pictures of 1972s with smokes. I have found them without, but I have not found them with. I'm going to set that off to the side here. This one appears to be the roughest looking one. The flap is torn. It's stained. And it's pork steak with a B3 unit. Let's take a look inside. This one's going to be rough. Oh, wow. Look at that. Interesting. The B3 unit appears to be toast. Yeah, it is. Actually, maybe not. It's just rusty on the top. That might, I mean, it still feels full. No key. No key in 1959. Look at that date. Woo, woo. Nice. 8/59. Cookies, cocoa beverage powder, and jam from the Booth Fruit Company. Now, that is a lot of rust on there, and that resulted from whatever's in here. But again, this is the worst looking one. Let's see what this is. I've never seen anything like this before. I guess I just pull this flap up. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Here's your cream. Santa Dairies Incorporated. Try to remember how it went in there. Here's our coffee. Very nice. Korean War era coffee. This one's toast. And I believe that's because of the leakage. So this will just be a nice display. I mean, it displays perfectly fine. I can straighten that out and make it look real nice. It's just, it's hard inside there. Same with the creamer, I think. Let me see. Nope, creamer's fine. Creamer's actually soft, believe it or not. And you've got your clear. Look at that. Nice clear spoon. This is what came in your RCIs. I've got multiple of these, but this is a nice example. Real nice. Usually they yellow and they don't look that good. Let's see if our Domino sugar is half and half. The top half is hard. The bottom half is still powder. But I've never seen a Domino sugar look just like that. White, 6 grams. Look at that. It used to give you 6 grams of sugar. American Sugar Refining Company, New York. Yeah, baby. So part of your accessories came in here. Your separator right here. Ooh. Wow. Would you look at that? Wow. Oh, dang. It's a puck. I guess this was the main. Yep, pork steak. Let's take a look at this other one here. What is this? This one does have a key, and it is white bread. White bread looking mint. Look at how mint that little tiny, might rub off that little tiny spot right there, but wow. Ooh, yeah. That's an interesting looking seal. Yeesh. Huh. What in the world? That, I've never seen one look like that before. That's weird. Other than that, like weird looking seal, this is a beautiful can. Beautiful can. Probably the best looking thing in here. Check this out. There's actually a little divider in there in between this, and that's probably what saved it, to be quite honest. The B3 unit, it'd be worth opening up, honestly, because it is still very heavy. Feels like it should. It's just got that top surface rust there. All right, let's put the sugar back in. And then the coffee. Oh, no, I think the spoon went in next. It was kind of weirdly wedged. This, I think. Oh, wait, was the spoon in there like that? I can't remember. Was it? I don't remember how this was. Or was it? Huh. I feel like the spoon needs to go in last. Alright. coffee creamer. There, they would kind of spread out like that, I think. And then our spoon, like this. It's pretty close. Very cool. Very, very cool. Oh, well, that one's nowhere near as heavy. That one, I'm not even going to open it. It's rust. That one's light too. Hopefully the ones on the bottom are in better shape. Yeah, that thing right there is super light. Let's see what this one feels like. Ooh, that one feels really good. But for it to still be as heavy as it is, I think most of them are going to have the majority of their contents intact. Let's take a look at this fried ham. Ham usually holds up quite well. It's like one of the best. Now this has got one of the B units that does have jam in it. And it's bloated because of that. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, yep. That's from the jam. That is all from the jam, believe it or not. It's unfortunate, but that's what I expect. I mean, it's fine. It's exactly what I expect. And I don't even want to take the stuff out of this one. Let's see. Ham is shot. Do they all just come with white bread or what? Yep. That's what it's going to look like. Coffee any good? Yep, coffee's perfect. Nice. Nice. Heavy B unit in that one. Main is toast, but that's to be expected. That one's got some weight to it. Ooh, that one's real heavy. Beans with Frankfurter chunks. This one, they're going to be fun to open. Okay. Okay. This is definitely museum. Let's take a look over here. This is what, what in the world? Did I just do that? Or was it already like that? I have to go back and look at the video. Oh, wow. Whoa. That is not at all what I expected. Holy cow. Yeah. Wow. These are in absolutely beautiful shape. Okay. Now we all recognize what those are. We got some weevil carcasses. Let's take a look inside here. Fingers crossed. Hoping for the best. Oh, wow. Wow. No. I hope that is just a rip and not a whole 8 through. But look at that. Wow. Beautiful condition. It does not get much better than that, folks. Paper bags. I mean, For every intent and purpose, this should not have survived. This should not look like this. These are beautiful. So this has got cigarettes, matches, toilet paper, chewing gum, and salt. And then inside each meal, you got your creamer, sugar, coffee, and spoon that's actually in the meals. So I've been told, I don't know if this is true or not, and I can't tell, there's supposed to be 2 packs of cigarettes in each accessory packet, from what I understand. So there should be 2 packs of cigarettes in here and 2 packs of cigarettes in here. But no, there's only 1 in here and 1 in here, which means there's only 4 packs of cigarettes in both of these cases that I'm going to have. Wow, I thought there'd be 4. So that means there's 40 cigarettes to go around to 12 meals. That would be... Oh, wait. No. There is... Oh. Yeah, 1 and 1. Yeah, there's 4 per case. Oh, okay. So there's 80 cigarettes per case. Yeah, these guys were getting way more cigarettes in 1959 than they got when the 4-packs came out. Even the 5-packs, that was 60. Let's just say that, the Pall Mall, there was a Pall Mall 5 count. And let's just, the wide packs, let's say that they were all Pall Mall wide packs. That'd be 60 cigarettes in a case. This is 80 cigarettes. And who knows what kind of smokes are going to be in here. I am looking forward to the day that I get to crack into one of these bad boys. Oh, man, the magic. Let's take a look at the other one. May as well. We're into it this deep already. Let's just take a look. Take a look, see here. Oh yeah. Some rust up in there. But look at the condition of these. I want to jump up and down. Oh, these are immaculate. They're just shining examples of what you want to find in something like this. Perfection. I wonder what kind of chewing gum's in here. There's got to be enough chewing gum in these to go around for 12 meals. So if guys split this evenly, there'd be enough meals in here for 4 guys, right? 3, 6, 9, yeah. So if they split each case between 4 guys, each guy would get a pack of smokes. They'd get a whole accessory packet, which is a pack of smokes, probably enough gum to last for 3 meals, matches, toilet paper, chewing gum. That makes sense. That's probably what the thought behind this was. I can only guess, but 3 meals per guy, accessory packet per guy. Yeah, that totally makes sense. What do you guys think? What do you think? My eyes hurt. No, I cannot. I would love to, but it'd be silly to do that. This video is not even titled anything to do with these or anything. Oh, that smells so good. That is a comfort smell. That is my, what do you call it? Magnum opus of smells. Hey, Delicious, how you doing, man? This is a rarity, dude. Like, you popped in at the right time. Oh. Probably an acquired smell, but I would say package this up and make it a clone. Yeah, I'm probably one of the only people, one of very few, that would love and enjoy this. Man, I'd love to see some really cool old vintage like gum in there, but it's definitely chiclet style, but it feels big. Wait, 1, 2. I feel 2 packs. They feel. Hang on. Let me see. No, they're wider than a regular pack. I don't know. Probably gonna be chiclets. Probably. I mean, that or beech nut or something. But how cool would it be to have like some actual packs of like juicy fruit or something along those lines? These are cool. These are really cool. So you get 4 of these per case. 1 per soldier is what they get. How these go together. Yeah, these things were not cheap. Not by any stretch of the word. There we go. That's how they go together. Right there. I think. Oh, yeah. Slip right back down in there. These are fantastic. And the other case that is at the post office is unopened. Still got the original bands around it. No staining whatsoever. It's in very, very nice looking condition. And I am looking very much so forward to getting that in my hands and seeing if it's taking damage. I don't see anything new, like busted. Obviously, there was a lot of rust that could have been prevented from being dispersed throughout this thing by doing as I tried to do and asked them to do. I mean, the thing probably lost at least a pound of old dust and rust and stuff on the way here. If I was to guess. While Delicious is here, let's have a smoke from Delicious. One of these. Let's do. Well, you know what? Is this the black ones? No. What are the black ones? Where are those even at? I don't know, but I've got this pack that he sent me from France. That are French. That are Galiloise? Not. They're blondes, it says. Blondes Galileos? Anyway. The paper that he sent me is in here somewhere. I think it's in here. Yeah. And I don't know if he was here for this or not, but Delicious, if you're still here, I cracked these open a couple weeks ago. Very, very interesting and good. These are very good. But check out what they look like, because I've seen vintage smokes that were kind of like this, but look at this. See that? They got that shiny red band around them, and then the filter is hollow and hard. they were decent. Some camel lights. These are very interesting, and I like them. I like them a lot. I thought they were going to be like a cigarillo, like kind of have that, because of the black paper. The only way we really see that over here, they always are, those like mini cigars that people inhale and they smell not so good. But these French ones here, let's see what you told me about these. It might not be on this one. I thought it was. Camels, Pall Malls, Philip Morris, the Sobrain, which is these. Polish brand. The Mockney. Okay, had those. They are in here somewhere. Right here. Soft pack, the Mockneys. And then we still have the Philip Morris, which are from Georgia. Of course, not the Georgia in America. Yes, of course. In the Middle East. This is since 1847. Might try. I haven't gotten into these camels yet. Or yeah, no, I did. I opened the camels. Couldn't remember. Gala Louise is one of the most popular French brands. I bought them in Czech, actually. So, oh, your grandpa used to work at Philip Morris, and so this is a very popular French brand. Well, let's just try these out, shall we? You bought them when you were in the Czech. Bought him when he was in the Czech. Thank Delicious so much for this. I've got to send you some MRE cases. It's been on my mind a lot lately. I've got to get them in the mail. I'm going to see if it's cheaper or better to send them together. Although if I do that, we're taking a chance of both of them not making it. Whereas if I split them, one might make it, one might not. But if it makes it, then they both make it. So, what do you do there? I don't know. I'm going to try these French. I'm going to pack them a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Typically, I smoke something that's open. Many varieties that I've got here to choose from, and eras and everything. But Delicious is here. He just told me this is a popular French brand that he picked up while he was in the Czech. We're going to give him a try. All right, I don't want to overpack them because I have done that a few times recently, and they were unbearable to try to smoke. They couldn't draw air across through them. So. Okay, tax stamp. Done. Should have cut through it, hopefully. Yep, there we go. Just broke the tax stamp. Smells very fresh tobacco. Has kind of an organic grain kind of scent to it. If you're standing out in the field almost. Look at that wrapper. Fancy. Fancy schmancy French. Very light paper. It's almost like tissue paper. Usually that's made out of foil over here. All right, flip the first one around. That's how we do the Lucky Smoke. And I'll grab the one next to it. Those taste funny. Kind of tastes like what dough smells like. It's definitely coming back to that grain. Like, kind of grainy. Call me weird. Or wheaty, maybe? Grain, wheat. Something out in the middle of a field. Organic. Dirt. That's weird. Not necessarily yeasty, I don't think. I can tell you, I've never had a cigarette that tastes anything like this on the dry pull. Or smells like this. It's got a very slight floral hint to it. Along with that kind of savory, grainy. This is a weird one for me. Usually I'm like, yeah, okay, it smells like fresh tobacco or whatever. This is different. This is very different, actually. A little bit of vanilla in there. A little bit of vanilla. Huh. Let's find out. Popular with the French. I always think of them as kind of weak when it comes to stuff like this. Am I wrong? We'll find out. I know they like to smoke. I know the French like to smoke a lot of cigarettes. This is a weird one, man. I'm telling you. This is not the normal. Like, most cigarettes have a baseline where they have a lot of similarities. This one's very different as far as the dry pull and everything I could smell and taste from it. Not as different once lit, but it is different. It does still have that, like, that it's got a savory side to it, kind of almost like a foodie side to a cigarette, which is kind of odd. We've only got one good pull off of it so far. It's kind of a light pull, I've noticed so far. Ow. Okay. That's really strong on the second pull. Really strong. Wow. French mouth numbing is very strong. That ain't no joke. That'd put air on your chest, even if you don't want it. Yeah, it's got a mouth numbing effect to it. Very strong. Probably double the strength of a Pall Mall or a Marlboro. I don't know if it's got like super high nicotine in it or what. Can't read French. Not that it would tell us anyway. I'll have to look into these because these are pretty unique when it comes to a cigarette. Like, again, a lot of cigarettes, there's quite a few similarities. These are quite. I didn't expect it after that first draw. I was like, oh, these are going to be weak. Nope, they're very strong, and again, kind of mouth numbing. That hurts my throat. It's not bad. They're not bad. They're just harsh. They're not harsh. They're strong. Very strong. Do I remember what happened to the bottle of Bowls apricot liquor? Apricot. Was that in Pittsburgh? I might have to wave the white flag to this French cigarette. It's definitely yeesh. It's, I don't know. Again, it's not like it's bad. It's just really strong, and because it's so strong, it's almost harsh. It does hurt my throat a little bit. And I've smoked the strongest cigarettes, non-filters, you name it. This has got a big old filter on it, like a normal size filter. It shouldn't be like this. Oldest bar in Pittsburgh. It was Pittsburgh. That was Josh's family's bar, I believe. Or are you talking about McSorley's? I think that was at McSorley's, which is in New York City, which is an amazing place. I recommend everybody that gets to New York go there. It's a living history museum. The walls are covered in. You could go in there multiple times and look at stuff on the walls and not see. You'll see new stuff every time. They very rarely add anything, and they do not take anything down. It's the place where they hung chicken bones. They would give guys that were leaving for World War One chickens. I think it was World War One. Might have been the Civil War. I don't know, something like that. I think it was World War One, or was it? Anyway, leaving for a war, they would put the wishbones up there, and when they got back, they were supposed to break the wishbone. And there's a bunch of wishbones up there for guys that didn't come back. And then back like now, probably 10 or 15 years ago, the health department come in and made them take a bunch of them down because they had dust on it and stuff. And I guess it was afraid of it falling in people's drinks or something. It was up at the bar. They got Houdini's handcuffs in there. They got a couple things from Houdini because he was a regular. JFK's dad's boots are hanging in the back that JFK's dad hung up there. He was an infamous bootlegger or whatever. And what else is in there? Hey, there's a chair that Abraham Lincoln stood on to give a speech that he did in the bar. Like, the place is really cool, man. It's really, 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 really cool. I've got a couple cigars. I got one up. I think I ended up with 3 or 4 of them. They didn't want to give me any. I was like, what are you guys going to do with them things? Just let them sit here and rot? Because they had, I don't know. You know what a cigar box looks like. I don't know how many's in a cigar box. 50, maybe 100 count, because they were the thicker boxes. They'd probably at least 50. And they had like 8 boxes. And that was just sitting right there. I'm sure they had more elsewhere. I was like, just let me have a couple of those. I'll put some good use to them. I haven't smoked one yet. I do intend to smoke at least one of them, and I think I have 3. I think I had 4, and I sent Josh home with one. I think. I thought I had one sitting right there. Huh. Could have swore I had one sitting right there. Maybe it fell. Dang it. Because it ain't been that long since I grabbed it. Anyways, you asked about that peach liquor. They kept it, I'm sure. That, or I'll tell you what ended up happening with a lot of this. Well, all of it, actually. So after we would film something, whatever it may be, they would keep whatever was left, and they would take it and put it in a storage unit, or they had a couple other places where they were storing stuff, like at the editing suite, which was an entire floor of a skyscraper that they had rented out, and they would keep stuff there. But they had a storage unit where they were putting stuff too, like I can't think of the boxes of Wheaties. I remember we broke those back out and had to refilm something, so they would try to recreate what it looked like when we were wrapping up, and we would have to say or do something over again, like kind of weird, not my style. But every tasting and everything like that was all just off. There was no scripting, no nothing like that at all. So it was all just off the cuff. Maybe it should have been a little bit scripted. I don't know. Maybe a little bit. Not reaction wise, but information wise, maybe a little more, because we did a lot of layover, like audio layovers and stuff when it comes to like backstories, which that's cool when you can add cool vintage footage and stuff like that. But It's not getting stronger, as usually the further you smoke them down, it gets stronger. But I had a case of 1982s, June 1982s, which is my birthday, my birth month, that I had, that I think I paid a lot of money for them, because find another one. Find another case of 82 June 82s. You won't. You won't. I haven't seen another case, not a June. I do have another case of 82s, but I think they're April. I think. I don't know. And I got those off of CT. He was kind of liquidating his vintage stuff, and he's like, me and him both born in 82. So he picked those up. And I think he was born in June 82 too. So our birthdays are very close together. Yeah. Anyway, I had a survival kit that had the dextrose tablets in it. Not dextrose, and not going to say it on here, but the giddy up and go pills in it. That one was not cheap either. That was a really, really pristine example. All that stuff, because we were supposed to come back and get right back to filming. That was always the plan. Like, there was no contingency plan of, oh well, we'll take a break. No, because when we left, there was no shutdown yet. I left New York 2 days later. They shut the city down. Probably within a week, the production company closed. Nobody's allowed to come to work anymore. They were not essential whatsoever. They didn't reopen. I was there in 23, and there was one guy working. Still, they still hadn't reopened. February. What else? But yeah, all the stuff that I had left behind, gone. Yeah, they owed me like, I had figured it was over $5,000 worth of stuff that they just gone. And honestly, they probably threw it all away. That's probably what happened to it. Be cool to think that it's still out there somewhere, but I doubt it. Production companies and TV stuff, and they don't put value on stuff like that, really. Not unless they got the show rolling and it's got production value. Once it doesn't, it's taking up space that's costing them money. Now, I do know that they did keep it stored for a long time, and I tried to get it for years. I tried to get my stuff back, because why not? But there was never anybody there. I called. It was a whole thing, and then I gave up on it. So after years, Oh yeah, well, yeah, I know it's still very active, that stuff. Most people wouldn't know what to look for, is the thing. Like, somebody'd see that old survival kit or first aid kit inside the survival kit, go through it. You would recognize the aspirin, you would recognize the antibiotics, things that people in modern day would recognize the name of. But most of the stuff would go right over the majority of people's heads, and they just wouldn't get it. Well, yeah, I would rather somebody had gotten it and taken it home, like production-wise, like a production assistant or somebody at the production company or something, versus it going in a dumpster. I would much rather it have went to somebody, which they'd probably just resell it or something, but at least it would end up in somebody's hands and knew what it was, and it just didn't end up in a dumpster, because I hope that's not what happened to it, but it very well could have been. I told him I wanted all that stuff. I wanted that old Wheaties box. That was a 1947, 42, 40, 40 to 47, 48, somewhere along in there. Box of Wheaties. I ate a lot of bugs. I ate a lot of bug carcasses out of that box of Wheaties. For sure. And then I really wanted that box of Batman cereal because it came with the bank. And Matt, the showrunner, director, producer, basically what their roles are, the showrunner, the guy that came up with Pawn Stars, still friends with him to this. They'll be lifelong friends, him and his wife, Emily. But I was like, dude, when we're done with this, I want this. Like, I don't want this to get thrown away or whatever. And he's like, man, I don't know when that's going to be. And he's just giving me the run. He's like, I don't know, man. Like they don't like to do stuff like that. I was like, what's it matter? I was like, it's a plastic piggy bank, dude. And like the next week, I came in and he had this box sitting on the table. He was like, hey, that's for you. I was like, okay, what is it? So just open it, check it out. I opened it up and it's sitting right back there, but it was a sealed box of the Batman cereal, the 1989 Batman cereal with the bank. Because I ate a bunch of that, and it kind of made me sick. That was one of the only things that made me sick. Like it didn't really make me sick. It's just too much detail to go into. But I didn't really get sick. It was just anyway. There was the cod liver oil. That one we filmed the day before we were flying home. The evening before. So I think we probably filmed that between 6 and 7 o'clock in the evening when we actually ended up ingesting it. And we doubled up on the dose that was recommended. And I believe we did that because the recommended dose was typically for a child. And I think it was a tablespoon. Not a teaspoon, but a tablespoon. Or maybe it was a teaspoon, but we did 2 tablespoons. After the first one, it kind of had a kick to it, but it was because of the alcohol in it. And I think it was 20 or 28% alcohol. And that stuff was from, what was it, 1908? Something, 1903, 1908. Maggie's? Anyway, we both took that and, nothing to report. It was good. It was actually good. I enjoyed that. And I do not like fish. Anything oily, like I was like, oh, the texture's going to be bad. Eating oil, like, ugh. But it wasn't like that. It was good. It was enjoyable. And that evening, everything was cool. Everything was great. The next day, me and Josh were flying out about the same time. We were both checking out and flying out about the same time. And I remember my checkout being like the normal checkout, which was not typical for me. Whenever I'd be flying home, usually my flight would be 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. They'd want me to check out in that morning and put my bags downstairs and waste 5 hours doing whatever, which isn't hard when you're living in Times Square. Let's be honest. Like, I can walk over town right there and do whatever I want. But that day, I remember it being a proper checkout time. Like somewhere 10, 11 in the morning, somewhere along in there, it seems like. And I brought my bags downstairs and was getting ready to get into the limo. And I was like, oh, no. Wait a minute. I got to go back upstairs. And it just hit me like, had I sat down in there and we'd taken off, it would have been awful. It would have been bad for both of us. Me, way more worse. Well, it would have been bad for both of us. And I was like, I got to go back upstairs. I go back upstairs, and I'm up there for like 15, 20 minutes, plus the, getting up and down. So a long time. And I finally, like, all right, I got to go. I got to get on. I got to catch this flight. Come back downstairs. Go get in the car, and I'm like, oh, my God. Just rumbles again. I'm like, this is not. I got to go back upstairs again, dude. And my card was still working because it was before, must have been like at 10 o'clock or something that I was down there, 9:30, something like that. But I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait on me again. And I had to go back upstairs to my room again. And I almost missed my flight that day. When I finally got into the limo, was headed to the airport, I called Josh, and I was like, hey, Josh, like, how you doing today? It's like, you had any issues? He's like, dude, it's the same exact stuff I had going on. He's like, I almost couldn't even come to get my flight. I was like, I know, dude, this is not good. It was rough, man. It wasn't like, but it was doing what it was supposed to do. Like, that's what it was supposed to do. We both just kind of figured it's well over 100 years old. It's not going to be effective anymore. We were very wrong. That cod liver oil did exactly as advertised. It cleaned out your gut. It cleansed you. Did us. Anyway, we're talking, it was 120-ish years old? Let's see. Over 110, 115, 120. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what the date was on it. It was old. Very old. Over 100 years. I know that for sure. Yeah, definitely over 100 years old. But that was an interesting one. Yeah. And then I got, like I said, Matt got me the box of cereal. But I wanted to keep all that stuff, all that old vintage advertising. There was a really cool Horn and Hard Art metal can of not coffee, but the coffee kind of replacement. What's that? Drawing a blank right now. It's chicory. So I wanted that can. I wanted to keep that can. It was a really cool key open can. It had art on it and stuff. Horn and Hard Art. I didn't know this until years after, actually pretty recently, but the old Horn and Hard Art was right there next to where I was living. Like, I walked in there, I don't know how many times, and there's a bunch of not a bunch, there's some of the original art of the old, man, that place was cool. And I looked up stuff about it and saw stuff about it, but I didn't know that it was right in the heart of Times Square. And this was the vending machine restaurant. I think it was a nickel back whenever it first opened up. You'd put a nickel in there, whole cook staff and everything back there preparing food. They would set the plates of food already done in these little vending machine like window open things. You pop your nickel in there and it would unlock it, and you'd open it, grab your plate of hot food. Really cool. And I'll tell you what, something like that in New York City today would just kill it. You get what you get when you put your money in there and open the door. You got to look through the window and see if it's something you think you like, whatever. I don't think you should even label everything exactly what it is unless allergies and stuff. Okay, here's the gluten-free stuff or whatever. But I think something like that would do tremendously well right where it was at, right in the heart of Times Square. I think people love vending machine type stuff now. But to do something like that, you'd have to do, because of the rent right there in Times Square and all the overhead, wouldn't be very vending machine-y. Like, it'd be $15 to open the door, $20 to open the door. It'd be ridiculously expensive. That's just like, can't remember the name of the cheesecake place right there, but their cheesecakes are ridiculously expensive. They're like $7 a piece, $8 a piece of cheesecake. They have to, because their rent's so freaking high. It's so high right there. I can't remember the brand of cheesecake. It's like the original one was right there where I was living too. wow, I'm drawing a blank. Really visually aesthetically pleasing cheesecake places. They serve food too, I think. Always just got cheesecake and stuff, but I think they did food. All right. Anyway, this is awesome. This is awesome. Never been seen before. I can't wait to open one of these up. Probably just open one of them, one of the accessory packets. Preserve the rest, but definitely go through those meals and find out which one's the best one, the best B unit, the best main, the best. Got to have a good coffee in it. Swap it for one that does have a good coffee. Like we just found one that had a good coffee. We found two that didn't and one that did. Yeah, they weren't packaged properly for that coffee to last. The fact that even one coffee is still good is saying a lot about how these were stored. But all right, folks, my phone is about ready to die. I already got the 10% warning minutes ago, so I'm going to have to check out. And I mean, again, the phone's going to die, so it's not like I have a choice. I was going to walk you guys out back to the raccoons because I pretty much guarantee you they're out there. Pretty much guarantee. Let's. Maybe I can sign off from out there. Let's just see. Got any cookies? I don't. Dang it. Nope, there's Possum. I forgot about the pizza. No raccoons, though. Where'd you go, Possum? Oh, well. Well, that's not going to work. Got a mess to clean up, though. From the possum and the pizza. All right, folks. I shall see you guys on the next one, hopefully in a week or so. That's the plan. It always is. Forgot about Mother's Day being last week, and that's why, obviously, we didn't do one last week. I had other stuff going on. But I know my phone is going to die if I don't get off of here, so thank you guys for hanging out, checking out this amazing case that I got, even though it was rough handled. I don't know. There was definitely damage done, but what are you going to do? I turned two meals around in there, too, like a goofball. I got to fix that. But, yeah, and then the other sealed case that I got will be fun to check out, and one of these days, museum-worthy stuff. And all I got left to do now is say thank you guys for hanging out and watching and being here. Hope to see you guys on the next one. And I'll see y'all later.